Hi guys, Jimbo here, the driving test guy in New South Wales, helping you pass your New South Wales driving test first go, hopefully. Okay folks, so today we're going to head over to Macquarie Fields and check out the new driver testing centre. This is the second one they've set up in the Sydney metro area. The first one was set up at St Mary's. I haven't been up there. I will get up there eventually. But today, because Macquarie Fields is relatively close to me, I've headed over there to start checking it out. Now, it's only new to me, so I'm learning it as well. But I'll give you an idea today, pretty much, what's going to happen with a Macquarie Fields driving test. Now, generally you start in Macquarie Fields and you can head over to Ingleburn. I don't know yet if they head to Glenfield. So if anyone knows that they've been to Glenfield on a Macquarie Fields test, please put comments below and I'll check it out. Now, just quickly, I want to say thank you for those people that support this channel. And if I've made your life easier in passing your New South Wales driving test and you would like to say thank you and support this channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Now, the links are below in the description, or you can go to my website, www.thedrivingtestguynewsouthwales.com.au. Okay, let's get back to the video. Okay, so to enter the Macquarie Fields Test Centre, we are on Victoria Street near Glen Quarry Shopping Centre. We turn left into this TAFE driveway. Don't forget to check over your left shoulder before cutting over that bike lane. This driveway bends around to the right and then around to the left. You will not need to use signals here. If you did, it doesn't matter, but you don't need to. Now, currently this TAFE is on holidays, so the car park is kind of empty, but it would get busier when TAFE is back. Now, a bit further down here, we turn left. Make sure that you signal here. We turn left into this section where the testing bays are. Now, that building in front there, that's the building that you go in to meet your testing officer. Okay, now the bays on the right here with the white stripes, these are your driver testing bays. And we're going to reverse into one of them. I'll speed up the camera. You just go forward a bit, put in reverse, do all your checks, and back into one of these bays. So lock up, make sure you've got all your documents, and then you walk in those doors in front where that examiner and that student is also about to walk in, and you will meet your examiner. Okay, to start the test, you'll pull out and go to the right. Once you've done your indicator and brake lights for your examiner, you start the car, put the signal on for 5 seconds, make sure it's safe before you pull out, and then head down this way. Now, you've got a crossing here. Make sure no one's crossing. Now, when TAFE is back, there may be a lot more cars here that may back up on you. Be ready for them. Another crossing. Down the end, they're going to get you to turn right. So flick your right signal on, take it round to the right, make sure it's safe. Then we head down here. There's a bend. We follow the bend around to the right. And now we're going to pretty much go straight ahead and eventually exit this car park. Now, be ready for cars backing up on you. TAFE will be back. There'll be a lot more cars here. Got a couple of speed humps, just careful over them. And we head up to those bends. Now, a reminder with these bends up here that you will not need to signal. Okay, if you did, it doesn't matter, but you will not need to signal with these bends. So just basically comfortable speed, bend around to the right, then bend around to the left. And at the end here, on this occasion, we're going to be turning right. You may be asked to turn left. Now be careful here with the footpath for any pedestrians. Give way to them. If it's clear, just edge up, maybe drop the tyres into the gutter there, just gently until you can see. Now have a good look. Now see that driveway with that red car. Make sure you give way to any car that's coming out that driveway towards you. When it's safe, complete the turn. Okay, the speed limit on Victoria Road is 50, so be very careful. Up ahead, we have a crossing and a speed hump. Slow to roughly 25 k's an hour and give way to any pedestrians that might want to cross. Now, along a straight like this at 50, it is really easy to get over that speed limit, and you will get an F5 fail on them. So keep about 5 k's under, about 45. Up ahead, we have a few chicanes, which are bends that are designed to slow you down. Slow down to roughly 30 k's an hour for your examiner. Okay, we will be turning left, mirror indicator. Now with this bike lane here, check over your left shoulder before you make your turn. Okay, so if you look ahead, we have an oncoming vehicle that's moved into our path. So we need to wait back until they are clear. Now, if you look a bit further up the road, there is another car approaching. Now, we've got parked cars either side. There's not a lot of room. So one of us has to go first. Now, the other car has decided to go first, which is fine. We will just wait here until they pass. But then we have another problem. They live here. They want to go into this driveway. So the best solution is now to just slowly go past them. Now, with these parked cars, we don't need to go that wide to go around them. We're not going over any painted line, so we don't need to indicate and check over our shoulder to go around them. Okay, we're going to do the curb stop maneuver. Mirror indicator, left shoulder. Get the left tires on the gutter. Do not be in the driveway. And then handbrake, park, indicator off, engine off, feet off the pedals and say done. Now you start the car, foot brake on, pop the engine on, pop the car into drive, mirrors, pop the indicator on for 5 seconds. After you've done 5 seconds, check over your shoulder. If it's safe, pull out. Watch my curb stop video if you want more information about that maneuver. Up at the cross street here, we're going to turn right. Now, we are on a giveaway sign, so we're giving way right, left, and in front. It is safe, so we can roll through. Okay, let's proceed straight ahead. Just be careful of the speed limit, 50 zone. Up ahead, we have a roundabout. We are going to proceed straight ahead. Let's check to see if there's any risk of collision. All looks fine. Into the roundabout and exit signal. That'll generate some comments. Oh, I didn't think you needed to signal out of a single lane roundabout. We're going to turn left. Don't need a shoulder check. We're pretty close to the curb here. No need to do that. Now we're going to do the 3-point turn. Mirror, left signal, check our shoulder, pull into the curb. Now, to start the 3-point turn, we need to make sure that it is clear ahead. And it is. Mirror, 5 seconds, right signal. And then we're going to check over our shoulder. Looks fine. Right lock on the steering wheel. Get around as tight as you can. Okay, get close, but don't hit the curb. Now we steer it back the other way. We gear it into reverse. We check around the car, and we look out the back, to and froing as we go backwards. Just come back to give yourself room to get around. We steer it, we put it in the drive, check up and down the road, and off we go. If you want more information about the 3-point turn maneuver, I have a video on that. We're going to turn left here. Mirror indicator. There's no stop sign, so if it's safe, we can go. But there is a car there. We'll give way to that car, and when it's safe, we'll complete the left turn. Okay, we proceed straight for a little bit, but up ahead at the cross street, we will make a left turn. Mirror, left signal, don't need a shoulder. We are on priority, but let's check no one's going to run that stop sign. Looks great. Okay, let's complete the left turn. Okay, so we proceed straight ahead. Remember, the speed limit is 50. It is really easy on these straight roads to get over 50. Let's keep checking for hazards, check all the driveways, check all the side streets for anybody who might come out from the side. If you do see someone coming out from the side, from say a side street, show some response to the examiner. You are getting bonus points for those responses. And if something should enter your space and you don't deal with it and the examiner has to, you will get an F6 fail. So I want you to keep checking for these hazards. Now up at the head, we're going to turn left. Mirror, left signal. We won't need a left shoulder here. There is no stop sign, so if it's safe, we can roll through. Now there are a couple of cars there, but it is safe now. We can continue to roll through because it was not a stop sign scenario. Okay, so we are proceeding straight ahead. A reminder again that it is 50 zone, and be careful not to get over 50. Check all the side streets or the driveways for cars that might enter from the side. Up ahead, we have a roundabout, and the instruction is to go straight ahead at the roundabout. So as we approach the roundabout, we'll start checking behind, we'll get on the brake, we'll start slowing, and let's start checking the roundabout to see if there's any risk of collision. There is a car, so we'll give way to that car, and when it's safe, we'll enter the roundabout, and then we'll exit signal. Again, generating some comments about whether we need to exit signal out of a single lane roundabout. Now, we proceed straight for a little bit. Now, a bit further up to the end there will be a set of traffic lights, and the instruction will be to turn right. Now, this set of traffic lights, when we get closer, has no green arrow. So it's one of those ones where you push in and give way to oncoming traffic or any pedestrians on the right hand side. Currently, we have a red, and we're stopped behind this car in front, and we're waiting for the green. So basically, in my thoughts at the moment, I'm expecting the car in front, because they have no signal, to probably just go straight ahead. I'm currently looking ahead and seeing there is no oncoming traffic. Still have a check around, left and right. There's no pedestrians, so this one actually was pretty easy. We could just turn, there was no oncoming traffic. Okay, so this is Harold Street, and this is a 60 zone. So you can get your speed up to now about 55. I like to be about 5 k's under. Now in Harold Street, I recommend you stay in this right-hand lane, because there's always parked cars that park in the left lane. And you can see those parked cars there. So stay in the right-hand lane. Obviously, move into the left lane if you're given a left turn instruction. Our instruction is to go straight ahead. We have a roundabout, we check behind, we slow a little bit. Now we're going to check to see if there's any risk of collision. We have a look, and it looks fine. Okay, we enter the roundabout, and with this dual lane roundabout, we will definitely left exit signal, which will be marked. Okay, so the instruction is to proceed straight. Now, up ahead, we have another roundabout where Macquarie Fields High School is. Now, our left lane just before the roundabout will end, and that is why we are staying in this right-hand lane. Okay, because Macquarie Fields High School is up here, there will be a school zone up here. So, if you are doing your driving test during school zone times on a school day, at this point here, make sure you are below 40. Let's check the roundabout out to see if there's any risk of collision. That truck's fine. We can proceed through the roundabout and exit signal. Now, if it's school zone, remain under 40 until the end school zone sign, which is a little bit further up here. It will be really easy at this point to get over 40. There is the end school zone sign there. So if it's school zone, it's this point you can then pick your speed back up. Okay, a reminder now, the speed limit is 60. We can get up to about 55, about 5 under. Up ahead, we have a roundabout, and the instruction is to turn right. So as always, we check behind, we get on the brake, indicate, and we check the roundabout to see if there's any risk of collision. Looks fine at the moment. We turn right, keep off the island, and exit signal. Now I'm going to go into the right-hand lane. Now, the next instruction is to turn left at the next roundabout. So we need to get the lane change done early, mirror indicate shoulder. Note, we're 60 zone. This road is Henderson Road, and it's still 60. Now, there's a little trick you need to know with this roundabout. First of all, let's see if it's safe to enter. So we look to the right, there's just that white car. He's far enough away, great. Now, this left lane ends. Normally, I would just get you to jump directly to the right lane. The problem is this line here you can't drive over. You'll get an F1 fail if you do. So we turn into this left lane, go along, past this thick line, go to the normal broken line up here, and that's where you change lanes. Let's give it a shot. So we enter the left lane, mirror, right signal, check your right shoulder, go across the normal broken line, and get the lane change done. Now this is Fields Road, and we're now back to 50 zone. You need to notice that, because a road like this, it is really easy to get over 50. Okay, so up ahead we have a speed hump. So get on the brake, get the car down to roughly 25, and over you go. Up ahead we have a bend. Now you will not need to signal with this bend, but just slow to roughly about 25 k's an hour to make it comfortable for you and the examiner. Now, this road is King's Road. It also is 50 zone. Now, along here are several speed humps. So there is one coming up. So as before, get on the brake, get down to roughly 25 k's an hour for a comfortable speed. Okay, so the next instruction is to take the next left turn. Now, there's a little trick here I want to make sure you're clear on. So if you look here, we have an edge line, which creates a shoulder space where cars park, bikes can ride along. Now, generally when you turn left with these, you will move into that area. Now, you generally move across where the line becomes broken, and you can see right where the edge of the arrow is. Now, before you move into that space, you have to check over your left shoulder. However, notice there are some parked cars. Now, if the parked cars are parked right up close to the intersection, that kind of blocks off the blind spot area. So you can move into that zone without checking your shoulder. Now, in this case, these parked cars are a little bit back. So I'm going to highly recommend that we just check the shoulder anyway before we move in. The mirror, left signal, check over your left shoulder, move into that space. Now by doing that left shoulder check prevents us from getting a observation error. This is Currawong Street, 50 zone, standard residential. So do your normal checks, check all the side streets, driveways and parked cars, look for any signs that something might pull out in front of you and be ready to react. You do not want the examiner to help. There's a sign up here that warns us of a school where kids could be walking around. Now it's not a school zone, but be aware there could be kids. Pick a speed that's comfortable for this bend and we continue straight. Now while you head up here, again, let me remind you to check all the driveways, check any parked cars. You're looking for something to not pull out in front of you, completely unexpected. Okay, now up ahead, we have a bend around to the right. Again, slow down to a speed that's comfortable. Don't cut across the middle. Keep over to the left, and we proceed straight ahead. Now, this is classically like a road that you may be asked to do the reverse park maneuver, if that's the maneuver that is attached to your route. So up ahead, we're going to do the reverse park maneuver. So we check our mirrors, left signal, check over our left shoulder and pull up beside the vehicle. I like to line up the side mirrors as a guide. Into reverse, do our checks, check right around the vehicle to make sure no one's coming up behind you, and then you start reversing. Now this method that I'm doing now is the one that I teach in my reverse park video. So if you want more details on this particular maneuver, go to that video and it will show you my favorite way to do the reverse parallel park for your driving test. Remember, whatever you do, keep checking the back window regularly. You cannot just look only at your mirrors and camera. Now, we're going to move forward and finish this up. You don't need to shut the engine off, just handbrake, park and say done. Then I like to reverse. Into reverse, then check right around the vehicle again, what I call the 360-degree check. While reversing, look out the back regularly, come back enough to give you room to get out, pop it into drive, check your mirrors, put the signal on for 5 seconds to the right, check over your shoulder, and then pull out when safe. Now, we're going to continue straight for a little bit, but up at the end of the road, there's a T intersection, and we're going to turn right into a little bit busier road. Now, just before this T intersection, there is a school zone, and you can see the sign right there. Now, you got to be careful with this because you might acknowledge the 40 zones there, and if you're doing a 40 zone test, it will be 40. But when you get to the T intersection and you turn right, you can actually forget that it's 40. And you turn right and you just power up, and you will be over 40 in no time. So you need to remember that when you turn right here and it's a school zone time, you need to remain under 40 and not forget. So right signal's on. Notice the give way sign. So ultimately we could roll through this if it's safe. Let's have a little look. Push up if you need to push up. It is safe, so we can now complete the turn. Now remember, if it's school zone on at this moment, it's still 40. This road is Oxford Road and it normally is 60. Now we have a crossing, it's not a speed hump. Back off a little and check to see if anyone's walking up to the crossing. Give way if someone wants to cross. A bit further down though, we have another crossing that does have a speed hump. So get on the brake, slow down to 25 and check to see if anyone's about to walk across the crossing. If there is, give way to them. Okay, so up on the left, there are 3 things that we're going to need to consider. The first thing is we've got the end school zone sign coming up. So once you pass that sign, if it's school zone, your speed is back to 60 and you can pick the speed up. The second thing is there's some orange traffic cones here. That means there could be some workmen around. So we'll treat this as a hazard and you will be required to slow down a little bit as you pass this section. So the third issue is there's a white car coming out of a left side street. Now there's a work truck parked there, and this work truck is going to create a vision block out between us and that white car. And if that white car is not paying attention, they might pull out on us as we're coming along and maybe lead to an accident. So we need to be careful of this. So we're going to remain slow as we pass that parked truck. So if they pull out, we will be ready for them. So we proceed slow for the work area. The end school zone's coming up. That white car having trouble seeing us, he can see us now. Keep watching him in case he jumps out anyway. All is good. Now, the speed limit is 60 k's an hour. Okay, a word of warning. If you were on your driving test and drove past that section and completely oblivious to those 3 things, and you didn't slow down, you need to get more training and up your driving skills. Okay, so we're going to proceed to a set of lights. That's a cross street, and we're going to turn right. Note, there's another school zone. This light does not have a green arrow to help us. So it's currently green circle, we push in. Now see that bus, it's blocking our view. Now if we attempt to turn now, your examiner will stop the car. This is why. You need to see behind the bus before you turn. Now if you want to know how to turn right at lights without an arrow, check out one of my videos. I have several. Note that the school zone ends here. We proceed straight, we're on Cumberland Road. The next instruction is to turn left. Mirrors, left signal. Now see this space on the left side here? We need to check our shoulder in case someone drives up the side there. They will mark that check. Now, a word about speed limits. Okay, so take note. This road has no speed sign. You might assume, well, it's still 60 because we just turned out of a 60. But generally when you get off the main road into semi-residential, semi-town, the default speed limit is 50. Okay, it's very confusing. And to confuse it even more, we're going to come into a 40 area. Okay, I wish there were more speed signs, but there's not. But just know this section here will treat as 50. So we proceed straight, a little bit narrow here, a lot more parked cars, side streets. Always check for something that might jump out in front of you and be ready. Now, if you look a bit further up at the speed sign, we now have the 40 area. Now, basically, from this point onwards, we are in 40 zone. This is not a school zone. This is 40 all the time until we enter an N40 area. Our instruction is to turn left at the roundabout. Let's check to see if it's safe. Yes, we can enter the roundabout and complete the turn. Now, remember, it is 40 zone. Not too quick down here. Now, keep checking for things that might jump out in front of us from side streets. Look for parked cars that have brake lights or signals on. Just be very careful down here. Up ahead at the roundabout, we're going to turn right. Now, all these Ingleburn roundabouts have crossings near them. Have a look behind that van. Is anyone walking out in front of that van? Now, let's talk a bit more about these roundabouts and crossings in Ingleburn. On the approach, you'll see there's room to fit one car on the other side of the crossing, so you can see what's going on with the roundabout. But the second car needs to wait on this side of the crossing and not block the crossing. If you block the crossing, stopping on top of it, you will be given a fail, F15. Okay, so we turn right at the roundabout, right signal on. Let's check to see if it's safe to enter the roundabout. Yes, we get around the island. Be careful not to get your tyre onto it. And we exit signal. Now let's have a look here. On the exit of the roundabout, we have another crossing. Now, if someone's walking across the crossing, you need to give way to them. Now, there's room here to fit one car, so you're not on the crossing and you're not blocking the roundabout. Now, this crossing is safe, so we can proceed through. On the left side, there are a lot of parked cars. Be careful, they might want to pull out. There might be someone in front who wants to reverse in. Up ahead, we have another crossing with someone walking. We hang back, it's now clear. We get one car over the other side of the crossing, check the roundabout, that's safe. We enter the roundabout, we're going to proceed straight ahead. Exit signal, we have yet another crossing. We've got room to fit up to the crossing without blocking the roundabout. When it's safe to proceed through the crossing, we will. And up here, we have, again, a lot of parked cars that might want to pull out, or there might be someone in front that wants to reverse in. So be very careful through here. Up at the roundabout, we're going to turn right. We have another crossing. We hang back, check the crossing. This crossing is safe. We get one car over the other side of the crossing. Check the roundabout, it's safe. Be careful of the island. Get around, exit signal, and yet another crossing. We check the crossing, there are some walkers, but let's have a look behind that bus, just in case someone's hidden and walks out. Now, that crossing behind us, if the train pulls in, we'll get flooded with a lot of people. So just know that. Now, we are still in the 40 area, so it would be really easy to get over 40 here, and you'll get an F5 fail. Now, we have a bike rider we need to slow for. We also have two things coming up, a speed hump and the end 40 area sign. So we slow to 25 k's an hour. We are now out of the 40 area. Now up ahead we have a hazard. Now there's a car coming out of KFC. This truck creates the vision blockout. We slow in case he pulls out right now. Now this road, Macquarie Road, is actually a 60 zone road. There is really poor signage around these roads and it can be confusing. So because it's 60, we can pick up a little bit, get roughly around 55 if it's hazard free. Do all your usual checks, check all your side streets, driveways, parked cars for any signs that something might pull out in front of you. And always be ready to react should something happen. Up ahead, we have a roundabout and the instruction is to turn left. So we check our mirrors, we put the left signal on, we slow a bit. Now we need to check the roundabout to see if it's safe to enter. We have a look. And yep, that's safe to enter. Now I want you to turn left into this left lane, but then change lanes straight away, because we're going to proceed straight ahead at the next roundabout, and the left lane ends straight away on the other side of the roundabout. Okay? Now this roundabout is big and can be busy. Okay, now let's have a look to see if it's safe to enter the roundabout. Now we're going to wait till those two cars exit, in case they cut around. We enter the roundabout in the right hand lane. These bigger roundabouts, I like to do that left shoulder check when exiting because they're bigger. All good. Now exit signal to exit the roundabout. You can see the lane on the left ends. That's why we entered the roundabout from the right hand lane. So we proceed straight for a little bit. This road is still Macquarie Road and the speed limit is still 60 k's an hour. Now we switched to the head cam because the 360 cam on the roof had a glitch. As we drive along here, we're just going to check these parked cars don't back out on us. And up ahead, we have a few things we need to consider. Now the first thing is that we're coming up to another school zone. So have you ever looked there? There's the school zone sign. So check your time. If it's 40 zone, get under 40. There's also a speed hump there that we slow for. Let's check the roundabout to see if it's safe. Yep, that's safe. Let's enter the roundabout. Now remember, this is a school zone 40, so be careful if it's school zone times. There's the end school zone sign there. So get past it and then you can pick the speed up. So we proceed straight. This is Fields Road and the speed limit is 60. Up ahead we have the Macquarie Fields shops. Now the road bends around to the left and then around to the right. Now you need to slow a little bit so the speed is comfortable. And as you get around this bend here, have a look at this left edge line. Now it's important that you don't drive onto that edge line, otherwise you might get an F1 fail item. Now as we bend around to the right, we come to a set of traffic lights and we're going to turn right. Now these lights do not have a green arrow to help us, so it will be another one of these push in jobs. We've got our right signal on. Currently we are the second car in the queue. You can see the first car's pushing in and he's got a gap. Let's push in ourselves. You can see that we have a gap ourselves and now we can complete the turn. This is Parliament Road and is 50 zone. So we sit about 5 k's under if it's hazard free and do about 45. This zigzag line means there's a crossing coming up. Let's back off a bit, check it out. Yep, all safe, let's proceed. Now on the left side is a bike lane. So any left turns we do, we'll need a shoulder check. We are gonna turn left. There is a parked car that blocks that lane, so I didn't need to do the left check, but I did it anyway and I complete the turn. Now, this is Edgar Street. It's a 50 zone. We actually went along this road at the beginning of the test. And as before, what we will do is check for any hazards. We're checking anyone who might be coming out of a driveway, out of a side street, or looking for the parked cars, whether they have brake lights or signals, which suggests someone might want to pull out in front of us. Now, a bit further up is a cross street. Now, I want you to take note of this cross street. It has a stop sign. Okay, we're going to turn left, mirror left signal. Now you've got to stop with your bumper within 1 meter of that line. Keep watching that line until you've stopped. See that little bounce when we stop? When it's safe, then go. Do not roll through that stop line. If you do, you will have an F1 fail item. Our next instruction is to turn right. We would give way to any oncoming. Nobody's there, so we can complete the turn. This is Wilford Street. Let's continue to check for hazards. Anyone backing out of a driveway, pulling out of a side street, pulling out of a parked car. Up ahead is a T intersection and we're going to turn right. Now before this T intersection, note there's another school zone. So if it's 40 zone time, get under 40. There's no stop sign here. We can treat it like give way. So if it's safe, we can roll through. We check to the right. There's one car there. We check the left. It's now safe. Let's complete the turn. Now note the end school zone sign is there. Now this is Victoria Road and the speed limit is 50. Be careful not to get over 50. Along a road like this, it will be really easy. It is not 60. Now a bit further up we have a series of these little chicanes, these little bends that are designed to slow you down a bit. Slow down to about 30 k's an hour so it's comfortable. Then you can pick up a little bit, you come up to the next one. Again, slow down to about 30 k's an hour so it's comfortable. Get around without hitting the road marking. We pick it up a little bit again. Then we come to the third one, slow it down a little bit, 30 k's an hour, keep off the road markings, and then you can pick it up for a little bit. Now remember, the speed limit is 50. Do not go over 50. Now up ahead, we have another crossing and a speed hump. So we'll get on the brake a little bit, slow it down a bit, and check that there's no one crossing. Because it's a speed hump, do about 25. Now you're going to be asked to turn left back into the test center. Now on the left here, we've got the bike lane. So when we turn left here, I want you to check over your left shoulder before you turn into the gate here. Check there was no pedestrians walking as well. Now in here, this bend bends around to the right and around to the left. Don't worry about the signals here. Just a comfortable speed around these bends. We head down here a little bit and the examiner will get you to make the next left turn and we're going to head into the test bays. So flick up your left signal and make a left turn into this street here. We get around and then it bends around to the right. Now the examiner is just going to get you to nose front into one of these bays. So make sure you're good at that. So they'll probably pick one a bit further down away from the test going out. Pop on your right signal and then drive us into one of these bays. And then you shut down the car and then you go inside and get your result. Okay folks, so that's an example of what's going to happen on a Macquarie Fields driving test. Starting Macquarie Fields and generally heading over to Ingleburn and coming back. Now I don't know at this point in time whether they head to Glenfield. I can only guess that they do because I've only spent very limited time over there. But if anyone knows that you head to Glenfield, well then please put comments below and I'll check it out. Now in summary with the Macquarie Fields driving tests, one thing I noted that a lot of the lights don't have green arrows. So you need to know how to turn right without an arrow where you push in and keep the wheel straight and you got to go when it's safe. So I've done a few videos on that. So check that out and be good at that. Also, I want you to be really good and familiar with the main street of Ingleburn where the Ingleburn shops are. Okay. Those busy roundabouts, those crossings and people walking and pulling out all the time. Be really good at that. Okay, folks. So that's it. Please leave comments below if you've got any questions. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Please press the notification button and press the like button. All this stuff helps this channel. And remember, always stay safe.